match point. We're here at our favourite matchday watering hole, One Over the Ait at Kew Bridge. And joining me for a pre-Fulham swig is my good friend Natalie Sawyer. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, nice
Last
to see you.
one of the season.
It's gone so quick.
It's gone very quick, but a very exciting one, because look what we've got with us today. A full pub full of Bees fans. Cheers to you lot.
Fabulous.
Right, hopefully a couple of you lot at home may have spotted some guests in amongst our crowd today. Cheers to the ambassador Marcus Gale and Brentford women's gaffer Carly Osborne. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much.
Big thanks as well to London Pride, who have watered and fed these guys all evening. And another thing you guys may have noticed, we've got 2 empty seats to my right. So please give a big round of applause to the 2 longest serving members of the current Brentford squad, Rico Henry and Josh Dasilva. Cheers, mate. How are you, right?
Hello. Nice to see you. Very formal.
How are you, mate? You all right? Being very professional straight away now, aren't they? Not joining us lot on the London Pride, but they're athletes, these 2.
That's true.
Look, boys, we've got to start with it, get it out of the way early doors. And everyone wants to know, because we all care about you loads, what's the latest with the injuries? How are we both feeling?
Yeah, it's weird that obviously probably my closest friend at the club, we have the same injury, so it's been good in that sense. Obviously I've gone to him for a few pointers, but obviously everyone's journey is different. Everyone's, I would say, knee reacts different to different things, but I'm seeing a progression, so yeah, I can't complain. I'm just putting my head down and cracking on.
It's good to hear, mate. Look, we're all with you along the way as well. Rico, how about yourself? How you feeling, mate?
Yeah, for me it's a bit of a slow one, but picking up now in the gym and stuff, so I'm feeling good. Should be on the grass in a couple of weeks, I think.
How's it been like sharing it with each other and helping each other through it?
He was probably the 3rd person I called. So I called my brother and my sister. Then I spoke to Rico. When I'm going through stuff, obviously I'll go to him just for a few pointers, and obviously we talk a lot, but now half of our conversations is about knees and
comparing scars.
yeah, and how we feel. But yeah, no, I feel like obviously we see each other in the gym and the physio room every day, so it's obviously drawn us closer. But yeah, he's helped me a lot.
Well, look, you've still been around the group this season. You've both made contributions on the pitch as well. Well, what's been the feeling in the group at the moment, looking back at this season so far, Josh?
Obviously we've been unfortunate with people having long-term injuries, you know, like I think there was one point like it was down to our skin and bones, you know, so I think as a whole, if you look back, obviously it's not done yet, but I'm pretty sure we'll be in the Premier League next season. I think the achievement, it's a big achievement, so like, because a lot of players have been able to contribute because of injuries and stuff like that, so it's big, you know. Like obviously we don't have the biggest budget, so we can't just go and, you know, so we've had young players come in and do well. So yeah, I guess I'll say this season's been a bit of an anomaly, like because of the injuries that we've had. So now it's just about, you know, getting everyone back fit and then just have another go next season.
Rico, what about Thomas Frankman? How do you think he has dealt with it? Because for him, this is the first time he's ever experienced so many injuries, like Josh was saying there, and having to slot players into different positions just to fill holes in the team. How do you think he's dealt with that?
I can imagine it will be frustrating for him. Obviously he's done well with, like, you know, bringing up, you know, Yarmo and Michael into the team and stuff like that. Some of the young boys, they've done well. So considering where we are in the league and the amount of injuries we've had, so it's still good, and still positive overall.
No, we can't hog these guys the whole night. Like we said, we've
Oh,
got a pub full of Brentford fans over here who I know have got questions for both of the boys. Ambassador and Carly, you're in amongst it. Who you got for us, Marcus?
We've got Amber. Amber's got a question for both our players. So Amber.
Right.
If you could add any team to the Premier League from anywhere in the world, what team would it be? Mine would be Wrexham. But,
What, because of Ryan Reynolds?
yeah, definitely.
There's a story behind that.
I'll say Warsaw.
Warsaw?
Yeah, I've been there for like 10 years, so
Like that.
I grew up there, you know, through the youth team. So
Former club.
Yeah, former club. I'd love to be in the Prem.
I'll probably go Real Madrid. Real Madrid, yeah.
We bring them into the Prem?
Yeah.
So you can play against them?
Play, you want to play at the Bernabeu, like that's why not?
Right, Carly, who we got next?
So I've got Ronald here with a question. Ronald?
How important are the fans, the atmosphere and chants for you guys when you're on the pitch? And with the upcoming game against Fulham, is it even more important when you're actually playing in a derby like that?
I don't think people understand like
you can see it in football anyway, when teams play home and away. I don't know why, but there's a psychological difference because you're at home and you have the fans and you have like majority of the people there rooting for you. So yeah, I do think obviously the fans do play a big part, and probably bigger than they think. Especially like the momentum in games might swing from side to side, so the fans do play a part in that. And obviously when it comes to derbies, there's history behind it. We know how many people have supported Brentford for a long time. It's bigger than us players, you know, because players will come and go, but the fans and the core people there will stay, and like, we know how much it means to you. And at the end of the day, that's why we play football, to entertain fans and yeah, give fans a good time. So yeah, I think in derbies or in general, fans do play a big part.
Ambassador, over to you.
Amaric, you have a question? I do. To both of you as well?
Yep, so my question is to both of you. Which footballer did you most admire growing up?
For me, it was Jordi Alba or Marcelo. Obviously, I'm a left back, so growing up, I was watching them play on TV every single week. So yeah, I'll say either of them two. For me, I would probably go Zidane. Zidane was a player that I looked up to a lot, and Paul Pogba and Yaya Toure, because like their size and stature, like they're kind of big players and they play midfield. So obviously, like I can't compare myself to like Iniesta, you know, because he's like small and skillful. So I'll look at players like that who had big stature and that was good on the ball. So I'll try like just take little things from their game and emulate it, and obviously like just bring it into my own sort of thing.
We've got Callum here, who's got a question for both.
Evening to you both. You've both played in quite a few Brentford fixtures over the years, but my question is, what was your favourite Brentford fixture to be involved in as a player?
For me, it's probably Arsenal, you know. First game in the Prem, it's loud. Under the lights, it was crazy. I can imagine Sergio scoring the first goal was just madness. So yeah, probably Arsenal for me, innit? To play in that I've played in will probably be City away, just because what they were doing. Obviously they went on to win the treble, and to do the double against City when I think they were on like a crazy unbeaten run. They haven't really lost at Etihad, probably go down as one of the best teams in history. And the fact that we went there and beat them, I think, yeah, it's unbelievable.
Can I just ask you about that City game in particular, right? Because people always talk about the goal scorer, what's going through your head in that moment, right? What's going through your head in that moment, mate? That's what I want to know. When you've got, because he's just got to tap it in. You, like, no offence, Ivan. I'm not saying I can do Ivan's job here at all. Let's get that on record. But do you know what I mean? Pressure for you there.
Not really. I think these are the times we train for these moments, you know. So I think when whistles passed me the ball, I sort of knew what I had to do. Like everyone knows that I like going 1v1 against players, so I backed myself. All I needed was half a yard, and I could see Ivan in my peripheral running, so I just thought, you know, and there was a few players actually, and so then I just thought, let me just get half a yard and hit the wall as hard as I can.
And he'll be there.
Yeah, and he'll be there. So, and yeah, thankfully he was there.
So what was the dressing room like after? Because I mean, I was at that game. I'm sure a few of you were at that game. It was one of the most unbelievable games as a fan to be at. But what was it like to be as a player in the dressing room?
Yeah, it was crazy, but you know, it was crazy because we had the winter break.
Yeah.
So there was the last game. So like it was hard because we couldn't, like, everyone enjoyed, but people had to go places and stuff like this, you know what I mean? So it was like we enjoyed for probably a good about 10 minutes. So a good 10 minutes, but then people started getting in the shower. Obviously we're still discussing the game and people had to, but you know, we sort of missed that feeling of coming in Monday and, you know, having that buzz of like, we just beat City. We had a layoff for like 10 days, so yeah, don't get me wrong, everyone was ecstatic, but you sort of miss that. Like, one of the nicest feelings is when you've had a good result, coming in on a Monday, and then just seeing everyone and, like, you know what I mean, reliving the game a little bit, and then you start to crack on to training.
Got a final question from Dave.
Yeah, hi.
Here you go, Dave.
Good to see you both. Who is the best player you've both played against, and why?
For me, I would say, personally up against in midfield, I'll probably say Declan Rice. He's big, he's strong, he can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble. His understanding of the game is top. So yeah, I'll probably say Declan Rice.
We've got Jack here with a question. There you go, Jack.
Thank you. Yeah, this one is for you, Rico. Have you managed to have a race with Kevin Shardy yet, and which one of you is fastest?
You know what, the conversation's been going for ages, but nah, I'd love to race him though.
Josh, who's winning that?
I got to back my boy, innit? I think
Well, that is the perfect segue, actually, mate, because he is your boy. You two know each other very, very well. And in a minute, we're going to find out just how well as we play a little game over there. Right, lads, as we established, you are two very good mates. So we're going to test how well you know each other and how in sync you are. We're going to play a little game. I'm going to ask one of you a question. You're going to write down your answer. The other person has to guess what that person's written, and then we're going to swap over per question. How do you think? You said, what did you say just before we started?
I'm not too sure he even knows the answers.
Right. Right, you lot, no helping them out either, all right? No helping. First one then. Rico, I want you to write down who's the most underrated player you've both played with at the club. So
I know who mine is.
Don't do it so obvious so he can see what you're writing.
There's no one telling me how to look.
This isn't who yours is. It's who you think Rico would say.
Oh, okay.
You think he would say the same? You think he would say the same?
Maybe.
All right, Rico, who's the most underrated player you've played with at this club?
Mine?
Yeah. It's who you
I thought it was Josh.
No, he's got to guess what you think.
I'm guessing what Josh is going to pick.
No,
I put Miles.
And you've just got to say...
I put Miles per Harris.
You've got Miles per Harris. Who have you gone for, Josh? Romain Sawyers. There's a lot of nods here in the background and they saw that as well. Josh, I want you to write down your favourite goal that you scored for Brentford. Rico, you've got to write down what you think he's going to say.
Leicester.
So, you've gone Leicester. Josh, what was your...
Millwall.
Millwall, right. It's been a good start, but what a goal that was. There's a lovely angle of it as well. So you went...
Leicester. Leicester away.
Opening day of the season as well. Who's the toughest player you've come up against in training since being here, Rico?
I put my own name up there.
Mate, back yourself.
You up there?
Yeah, I think that's...
But that's what I'm saying. This guy don't think, bro. He don't think.
That's out of order.
Okay, let's go.
At the end of this, me and him are going to be best mates, and you're out the first.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. Right, who have you said?
Pontus.
What?
Wait. How? In training,
Pontus Janssen.
One time he two-footed me in training.
Oh,
Should I just leave you two to this? You still want to keep going?
This is what I mean about this guy.
Who did you say, Josh?
Saidon Romo.
Yeah, I'd have thought you went up against him a lot in training.
Nah, I put him in my pocket, mate.
Who is the quickest player at the club in the whole time you've been here? Who's been the quickest player?
You know who it is as well. Don't even try to put yourself up there.
Right, this game might have backfired, everyone. We might have made these two fall out, basically. Right, so Josh, who have you said is the quickest player at the time there?
Chill.
Benny. Oh, fair, they've got one right together. Well done, lads. We got you to agree. Best dressed member of the current squad, Rico. You've got to say who you think it is. You've got to guess who you think he'll say it is.
Well, I know who you think it is. Just put that person. Don't try it.
I know
I know who you want to.
I know who you're going to put.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's not who he thinks.
Yeah,
it's who
but
he
what
thinks
you
you think. So who do you think is the best dressed?
Zanka. I knew he was going to put Ivan. I knew he was going to pull it. I think Zanka though.
You think Zanka?
Yeah. I don't even wear what Zanka wears, bro. Why do you think he's?
But I like his style though. It don't matter.
I think Zanka's the best dressed.
No, don't get me wrong, but his style is closest to Ivan, so I thought he would have put Ivan.
All right.
Do you know what I mean? The logic.
And we are, of course, in a pub. I love a pub quiz. I'm sure you two love a pub quiz. Yeah? No? Right, okay. I want to know who you think Rico would pick to be in his pub quiz team.
I'm going to pick the most knowledgeable person. I don't know who he would pick because this guy is a bit all over the place, so...
So you've said Zanka
is
the most knowledgeable person in the squad.
Ben me.
I think that just shows we've got a highly intelligent squad. Look, boys, thanks for playing. Hopefully, are you still friends? Yeah? Are you still friends?
No, we're not.
You're not friends? Rico, do you want to be best mates now?
No.
What? Not with me?
Oh, with you?
Yeah, right. See you later, Josh. Me and Rico are best friends. Right, this is a West London derby special, so let's go and chat about Fulham. Right, final part. We've calmed these two down. Everyone friends again, yeah, over here? We all right?
Yeah.
Good to see. Thanks for joining us as well, Marcus and Carly. We're going to chat Fulham. because that is, of course, our last London derby of the season, the big West London derby against our near neighbours. Marcus, it's fair to say these games were a little bit tasty back in the day when you were playing in them, weren't they?
Yeah, there was a lot of tackles from the off. I think that was the first sort of measure of the game. Who could withstand the first tackle? That sort of set the tempo of the match. Today's games are a lot more technical, a lot more ability that's been shown from the first minute, the first whistle. And it's a great spectacle now, so I really enjoy it, but it's a bit different from when I played.
I think you're tell me, I've spoken to you about this before. Tell me exactly what it was like. When you say like you were passing and hopping, like every time you passed the ball and stuff?
Yeah, well, me being a left winger at my height and size, I invited a lot of physical challenges. So, for instance, I would push the ball past the fullback, 10 yards or more, but the tackle would still come in. So I had to hurdle that tackle because back then the referee would just say, look, it's his first tackle. No point complaining, just get on with the game. But the game's changed now.
And miraculously, there's still a few red cards in those days in your game.
Not too many.
Nah.
It had to be a serious offence to get a red card back then, but again, it was a different sort of game back then.
Rico, Josh, is there still a bit of spice to this fixture, having played in it?
Yeah, I think obviously in the last few years, because we've competed quite closely, there is a bit of competitiveness. Well, a bit, of course. You want to win every game anyway, but we know how much it means to the fans. So, yeah, there is a little kick here and there.
So, how big a role does someone like Peter Gillen play when it comes to these sort of derbies? Because we know how passionate he is, and he won't refer to certain clubs by their names, as we know. So, what's he like in the dressing room? I guess he has a bit to say.
Yeah, it's massive. Obviously, Gaffer says before the game, he tells us this game's for Peter Gillen. He reminds us all the time before we play them. Obviously, Peter comes in, gets us going. So yeah, that game's for Peter really, and the fans as well. So.
Yeah.
Now, as a fan, do you enjoy it's weird to say, do you enjoy these games?
No.
No, good. No. What about you lot? No.
There's nothing fun about
I enjoyed
them.
one this season, but.
Oh yeah, and there's been some good ones. Don't get me wrong, great derbies, but. I just get so frightened about them because there's so much more than just a game. It's so, we all know it as fans, the rivalry that there is. They might say that Fulham fans and QPR fans might say that Brentford aren't really rivals, but we are, because we just are.
That's what I kind of wanted to ask you as well, because it seems it might be split in the room today. QPR or Fulham for you? Which one?
Neither. I don't like either of them
No.
for different reasons. Obviously, historically we know what QPR wanted to do with Brentford when we're going back to the 1960s. I feel obviously more recently we've played Fulham a lot more, so obviously you're going to look at Fulham as more of a rival right now, but I don't like I detest both.
Okay, excellent.
I said it.
Right, not the views of everyone at Brentford Football Club. I'd like to point out as a little disclaimer. Boys, at the end, it's hard for these two to answer it, so I know you're going to stitch them up here.
No, that's not me.
I'm glad he did. I was waiting for him to try.
No, I
Did
wouldn't
you
do
go
that.
try that? Someone did.
Yeah,
Wow,
I was at
you went
QPR
there.
for a little bit, and to be fair, they felt I wasn't good enough. But probably the best thing they did for me, to be fair, because I then went and played for Brentford. I don't know if it was the best thing for Brentford, but it was the best thing for me. But yeah, QPR for me. Growing up in the area as well, I'm not a fan of the blue and white.
Yeah, you grew up in the area as well.
I grew up in Shepherd's Bush, so hopefully there are some good things that came out of Shepherd's Bush, me being one.
But it's hoops, isn't it? We don't like hoops.
Yeah. I don't like the hoops, but I think for me it was always Fulham because we played them more than QPR at the time, and there was a weight of expectations and responsibility for the fans that are here as well, and those that were there back in the day. You carry that into the game, and it was like a badge of honour as well. Like you knew you didn't want to let yourself down, but you didn't want to let your fans down as well because you knew how much it meant to them. So some of them probably worked with Fulham fans as well, so you wanted to make sure they go in on a Monday and have the one up on them, the bragging rights.
So obviously you guys won't be involved, but you'll both be there, I'm sure. Would you be having little words with all your teammates, telling them how important it is to win?
To be honest, I think they'll hear it a lot. But now when I'm around the boys, I sort of let them get on with things. Obviously, there's a few of the players that I will speak to maybe at half time or before the game, but I'm not one to we know how much it means. I think a lot of us, to be fair, we're growing as a group, and a few of us have been there quite a long time, so we know what these fixtures mean. And as I said, as Rico said, Thomas and Peter will come in and say their part, but yeah, the boys know it's important for us and the fans.
Marcus, how good was that away day earlier in the season at the Cottage. You, of course, were there.
Yeah, I was there. It was a great day. Loved the kit, the third kit that we used as well. Thought that really stood out. We looked ultra professional, and it was a good way to start the sort of away campaign as well. I know there was an unfortunate injury to Josh as well, which kind of soured the day, but I think overall we kind of put a marker down for the season. But yeah, it's always great to go away and to beat Fulham.
Well, it was one of those results where early on in the season you're thinking, how are we going to cope without Ivan Toney, and that's where you felt like, well, this is going to work with Brian and Johan, and it just felt like this is going to be a great season. Again, obviously now injuries have played a massive part and it's slightly altered how the season might have panned out, but I think a lot of fans would have looked at that result and just thought, this is something we're going to kick on with, and as much as we love Ivan in the team, you just felt, well, we can cope, we'll be all right. So yeah, I think that was, like you say, a marker.
Rico, what was that game like to play in?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously 3-0. Starting the game, obviously everyone's buzzing. A bit nervous as well. But obviously going into the game, it was good, especially for me. Going right wing. Everyone thinks I can't play right wing, and Gaffer stopped me there. So yeah, played a part in the third goal, I think it was, when I slid Chris Edger, then he crossed it to Brian. But yeah, overall good game, man, and yeah, fans were buzzing.
Well, it was amazing away on that day. I think they play like 3 from Desire or something at some point. I was like, are you all right? Are we doing it? Talking to the fans, Josh, you touched on it at the start. How big a role are they going to play at the G-Tech when we play for them this Saturday?
It's weird in football. There's always people that you can see when teams play home and away. There's obviously a psychological difference. So I think, you know, I can speak for everyone when I say we love playing at Community Stadium. Sorry, like just the atmosphere that we've built. It really like gets us going. So I think, you know, especially in a game like this, we know how much it means to them. So obviously we want to give everything back for them.
I know Nat's got a question in a set, but I've got one last question. This has obviously been a series of London Derby specials. Josh, Rico, have you got a favourite London Derby that you've played in your time at the club over the years? There's been some amazing ones. Not necessarily West London, it could be against any of the London clubs.
For me, it's one of the QPR games.
Yeah.
Away, under the lights.
Yeah.
Crazy atmosphere. But obviously, playing against Samuel, Bright Samuel, was tough. So for me, I used to enjoy the battle. So yeah, one of them games to be fair.
Yeah, I'll say the same. I think QPR away, we beat them 3-1, I think it was. Side scored a penalty and Ollie scored as well. That game probably sticks out to me. I think that season sort of, and that result sort of changed our season and like gave us a real belief that in our squad, and obviously we went off to go into the playoff final, but that result and that performance and that just the atmosphere, like going to their ground and just giving them one, like.
There was another one that people forget as well. I think goes on the radar. Millwall at home.
The comeback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a great game.
Yeah,
squad in that.
Yeah, that's why I thought you were going to say it. But you've had so many amazing games. Look, before we do go, Nat and I were talking in the break.
We were.
We just wanted to ask something.
Yeah, well, because you mentioned about being 2 of our longest serving. Obviously, Rico is our longest serving, and he's a couple of years away from 10 years, which would mean a testimonial. And I think we'd all be in favour of a testimonial, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So my question would be: you mentioned it earlier about a team you'd love in the Premier League. Would Walsall be your pick for a testimonial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. No, that'd be good.
That'd be like full circle, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure.
What would it mean to you to like, because these days it doesn't happen a lot. Carly just missed out, didn't you?
Yep, absolutely.
Surely you did 10 years accumulatively. No.
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah.
But do you know what I mean, Rico? It's a huge honour, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a huge honour. Didn't think I'd be here this long. Obviously, a testimony would be amazing for me and the club, I think. So yeah. What can I say?
Love it, yeah. Love it. Well, look, unfortunately, that's it for today. I want to say a big thank you, though, to One Over the Ait, who have had us here all season. It's been amazing. Thank you as well to London Pride and Fulham for your support. Also for keeping everyone here tonight fed and watered. Thank you lot in the audience. Our first time in an audience. It's been absolutely brilliant. And of course, I can't miss out the ambassador, Carly, Natalie. These guys come down every time we film. They don't get paid any money for this. They just do it because they love Brentford. And I hope they were like me a little bit. And of course, we can't miss out these two. Thank you so much, Josh Dasilva and Rico Henry, for joining us today. We've got one London derby left. It's the big one against our near neighbours, Fulham. Let's make it one hell of an atmosphere at the G-Tech that Saturday afternoon. Cheers all, yeah!